Hi everybody, today we will be painting a few dogs, and for that we will need paper, pencil, eraser, sharpener, paint, something to mix the paint, brushes, water, cloth. So let's start with the basics of drawing a dog's face. Begin by sketching its basic shape and marking where the key features will go. A grid can be helpful for aligning the details. These principles apply to any breed or profile. Outline the shape, mark the center, and add the features. This approach works whether you're aiming for a simple drawing or even if you're looking for something more detailed. However, if you're not just trying to draw a dog, but the dog, your dog to be more precise, you still can do it beautifully, even if you can only make basic shapes. You don't need to aim for realism or overcomplicate things. Simply sketch the basic outline of your dog's breed, then add distinctive features or personal touches. You might include special markings or even their name on a collar or dog tag. This is all you need to bring your drawing to life in a very unique way. So let's start today's exercises. We'll work on 6 breeds with another 6 next week. There were many suggestions, and we are focusing on the ones that received most requests. However, we will make sure that we will be back to the theme in the future, okay? Usually, I stain the canvas first for depth, then I start with the outlines, fill them in, creating blocks of color. And for this exercise, we are going to add some shadows and highlights, but we are still not pushing ourselves into realism, okay? It will be only for the sake of adding dimension to what we have been practicing so far. Whenever you can, try to avoid using black for shadows. A dark blue works better because it makes it more organic and lively. Start with simple blocks of color, then layer the highlights and shadows for detail. And here we have our Great Dane. Next, a sausage dog. I am going to split the composition in two vertical canvas for the sake of fun. So once again, we start with a simple block of color and add a few shadows and highlights. You don't have to worry about details. Once again, we are not aiming for realism. However, adding some sharp details like the eye will elevate the dog portraits because the eyes are the first thing that we notice in a portrait. Next, a Schnauzer. Gray works just fine, but I prefer using a bluish tone because I think it's a little bit more vibrant. For the Greyhound, we are going to use a dynamic pose to exercise our abilities to add shadows and highlights in order to make the composition clearer. We're not aiming for realism, okay? Just clarity. Using flat blocks of color in your compositions will help you overcome the fear of detail and focus on the process. When viewing such works, we don't judge them for their lack of intricate details or for the lights or for the shadows or anything. We just focus on the message, on the representation. If you're just starting out, don't let realism stifle your creativity. I deeply respect the skill it takes to replicate reality with precision. Creating something that is so lifelike that you feel that you could touch it, it's just amazing. That level of talent, it's so great and admirable. But as a beginner, chasing photorealism can be a trap, okay? It is easy to get caught up in the details and lose sight of the bigger picture. Creativity is about expression, exploration, and pushing boundaries. Even more dangerous is comparing your work to that of professionals. Remember, when we see a work of art, we often only see the finished product, okay? We don't see the struggles, the years of practice behind it, and we don't see the failures because, believe me, certainly there were some, okay? Success isn't an instant thing, okay? And everyone's journey is different. So, as a beginner, focus on mastering shape, color, and especially composition. And composition is how you arrange the elements within a given space. Composition is the most important thing of your work, no matter if you're just beginning or if you are a professional. Whether you're working on a small canvas or a large one, the most important thing is how you place your ideas within that space. And once again, it's the balance between the technique and creativity that makes art truly impactful. And don't forget, we have 6 more dogs for next week, and we look forward to seeing you then. As always, keep on practicing, and thank you for joining us.